Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite chair, the one that's molded perfectly to you after all these years. You're sipping your morning coffee, looking out at the garden you've tended for decades. The sun's coming up, the birds are chirping, and you think to yourself, this is my home. This is where I belong. Doesn't that sound like the dream as we get older? Staying right where we are, surrounded by the things and people we love most. That's what aging in place is all about. Living in your own home, on your own terms for as long as possible. And if you're wondering, is this really possible for me? The answer is yes. Let's talk about how you can make it happen. Aging in place isn't just a buzzword. It's a way to keep your independence, comfort and happiness intact as the years go by. For many of us over 60, moving to a new place, whether it's a retirement community or a smaller apartment, can feel like leaving a piece of ourselves behind. Our homes are filled with memories, the scuff marks on the floor from when the grandkids were little, the creaky step you've been meaning to fix since the 90s. Why leave all that behind if you don't have to? Studies even show that staying in familiar surroundings can boost mental health and help us live longer. Let's explore practical, down-to-earth ways to make your home work for you as you age, small changes that can make a big difference. Let's start with safety. It might not be the most exciting topic, but it's a game changer. As we get older, our balance might not be what it used to be, and those little trips or stumbles can turn into something more serious. But here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your entire house to stay safe. Start by taking a walk around your home with fresh eyes. Notice that rug in the hallway that curls up at the edges? Swap it out for something non-slip or secure it with double-sided tape. You can grab that at any hardware store for just a few dollars. And those stairs you climb every day, adding a sturdy handrail on both sides can give you that extra confidence. One woman, Betty, who's 72, told us she put glow-in-the-dark tape on her stair edges after she almost missed a step one night. She laughed and said, "Now my stairs look like a runway and I feel like a VIP every time I go up." Small tweaks like these don't take much time or money, but they let you move around your home without worry. Safety isn't just about avoiding falls, it's also about making sure you can get help if you need it. Think about keeping your phone close by, maybe even in your pocket, so you're never scrambling to find it. Or consider a medical alert button you can wear around your neck or wrist. We know they used to feel clunky, but these days they're sleek and simple. Some even look like a nice piece of jewellery. Our neighbour Tom got one last year after a scare with his heart, and he says it's like having a safety net that lets him relax and enjoy his days. You don't have to use it, but knowing it's there, that's peace of mind you can't put a price on. Another key part of aging in place is keeping your home easy to manage. Let's be honest. Some of the things we used to do without a second thought, like hauling laundry up from the basement or scrubbing the bathtub, can feel like climbing a mountain now. And that's okay. The trick is to adjust things so your home still feels like yours without wearing you out. For example, try moving the essentials to one floor if you can. We've got a friend, Linda, who turned her dining room into a cozy bedroom because she didn't want to tackle the stairs every night. She said, "I don't host big dinners anymore anyway, so why not make it work for me?" If you love your garden but bending over the flower beds is tough, try raised planters. They're easier on your back and still let you get your hands in the dirt. And don't hesitate to ask for help with the heavy stuff. Whether it's a neighbour, a grandkid or a local handyman, letting someone pitch in doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're smart enough to save your energy for the things you really enjoy. You've got a handle on making your home safer and simpler, and you're probably starting to see how these small shifts can keep you right where you want to be. But let's talk about something that ties it all together. Bringing in help when you need it, without losing that sense of being in charge. Aging in place doesn't mean doing everything on your own. It means knowing when to call in backup so you can keep living life your way. Think about this. There's a difference between struggling to keep up and letting someone step in to lighten the load. Take our friend Doris, for example. She's 75, and she used to spend hours every week cleaning her house, even though her knees screamed at her to stop. One day, she hired a local gal to come in twice a month for the big stuff: vacuuming, dusting, scrubbing the bathroom. Doris told us, "I thought I'd feel like I was giving up, but now I've got energy for my card games and my grandkids." That's the trick. Help doesn't take away your independence. It hands it right back to you. This doesn't have to be a full-time commitment. Maybe it's someone popping by once a week to mow the lawn, or a grocery delivery service so you're not hauling bags in the rain. Or perhaps it's a home health aide for a few hours if you're recovering from something or just need a hand with the basics. We know a guy, Paul, who's 69 and had a hip replacement last year. He didn't want to leave his place, so he had a nurse stop by for a couple of weeks to help with exercises and meds. He said, "It was like having a coach, not a boss. I was still running my show." And here's the beauty of it. You decide what you need. There's no one-size-fits-all. If you're feeling worn out from cooking every night, try a meal service. Some even deliver fresh meals you can heat up and feel like you made yourself. The point is, a little support can keep your home your sanctuary, not a chore list that's wearing you down. Pay attention to where you're stretching too thin, because how you lighten that load today might just keep you thriving here for years. Now let's shift gears to something just as important. Staying connected while you're aging in place. Your home is your castle, sure, but it's not meant to be a fortress that locks you away from the world. We've met so many folks who say, "I love my house, but sometimes it feels a little quiet." That's a sign, and it's one worth listening to. Studies show that people who stay social, whether it's with family, friends, or even the mailman, feel better, think sharper, and even live longer. Loneliness isn't just a mood. It can hit your health hard. Think about Janet, who's 72 and lives alone since her husband passed. She started feeling cut off, so she joined a walking group at the park near her house. Now she's got buddies who check in, swap stories, and keep her laughing. She told us, "I didn't realize how much I missed that until I had it again." You don't need a packed schedule. Maybe it's a phone call with an old pal, a coffee date with a neighbor, or even chatting online with folks who get you. Our cousin Bill, who's 67, found a gardening forum on his tablet, and now he's swapping tips with people across the country from his back porch. It's not about being the life of the party. It's about keeping those threads of connection alive, because they pull you out of your shell and keep your spirit strong. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. Safety, simplicity, support, and staying connected. And you're probably starting to see how these pieces lock into place. But let's talk about the last big key to aging in place. Making your home match your body's needs today, not 10 or 20 years ago. As we get older, what worked back then might not cut it now, and that's not a defeat. It's just a chance to tweak things so your home keeps working for you. Think about your daily routine. Maybe reaching that top shelf in the kitchen feels like a stretch, or getting out of the tub takes more effort than it should. That's your cue to adjust, and it's easier than you'd think. Take our friend Helen, who's 70. She loved her big old clawfoot tub, but climbing in and out was getting dicey. She swapped it for a walk-in shower with a seat, and now she says, "I feel like I'm at a spa, not wrestling with my bathroom." Or consider Tom, who's 74 and kept banging his shins on low furniture. He rearranged his living room, pushed the coffee table back, added a higher chair, and suddenly moving around felt free again. These aren't huge renovations. They're small moves that keep your home yours while fitting how you move now. And it's not just about furniture or fixtures. It's about keeping your strength up so your home doesn't outpace you. We know a lady, Ruth, who's 68, and noticed she was huffing more going up her stairs. She started doing little leg exercises. lifting her knees while holding the counter, stepping up and down on a low stool. And within a month, she was back to tackling those steps like a champ. You don't need a gym membership or fancy gear. Even walking around your yard a bit more or stretching while you watch TV can keep your body ready for your space. The trick is to listen to what's getting harder and meet it halfway. Your home and your strength can grow old together if you give them a nudge. Ask yourself, where do I feel stuck? Because how you tweak your place and your habits today can keep you calling the shots tomorrow. Now step back for a minute and think about all this. You've got a safer setup, a lighter load, help when you need it, people in your corner, and a home that fits you like a glove. That's aging in place. Not just hanging on, but living well where you love. It's not about fighting time or pretending nothing's changed. It's about rolling with it, making smart moves that let you keep what matters most. You don't need to overhaul your life or your budget. Start small, tape down that rug, call a friend, move the laundry up a floor, and watch how it snowballs into something that feels right. The beauty is you're in control here. You decide what stays, what shifts, and how you make it work. What do you think? We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you're going to try to keep aging in place on your terms. Maybe it's something you learned here, or maybe it's a trick you've already figured out. Your ideas light up this community and we can't wait to read them. If this video hit home for you, give it a like, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share it with someone who might need a nudge to stay in their happy place too. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Here's to making our homes ours, no matter how many birthdays we've celebrated. You've got this, and we'll see you in the next one.